Hi, this is Hamada Zahawi, founder and CEO of Right Track Admissions, a global admissions consulting company. If you haven't been to our channel before, get ready for an unfiltered account of exactly how to get into your top choice program, how to secure funding, and how to succeed both as a student and as a professional. And if you haven't done so, make sure to hit us up on our social media handles located below, as well as subscribe by hitting the big red button below to get the latest content from Right Track Admissions. So what are we going to talk about today? Today I'm going to outline for you the pre-application roadmap. It's a 4-part kind of process, so to speak. And if you follow that, by the time you start your applications, you're going to ace it. So make sure you listen to the end to get all the tips, tricks, as well as your call to action to get on that right track. So the first part of this roadmap is to build your brand. Don't underestimate this part. It's the first part in terms of a foundation. You have to know yourself to know where you want to go to school, to know what you want to major, and how to succeed afterwards. So build your brand. And that really includes, or when you think about that, think about your core values. Uncover your core values, okay? When you uncover your core values, what are the things that make you tick? Now, we've spoken about this numerous times in terms of living your story, also another video that we've done in terms of building your brand for MBA programs. It's constant brand building. It's really uncovering who you are, your identity, your personal values, and then using that to kind of outline the story that you're going to tell. So you want to take your time before you apply to your respective program to think about your brand, to think about what makes you tick, to think about those things that are core and passion to who you are, okay? Because that's going to form your identity, your core values, your brand. So the second major foundation for this roadmap is how to pave your path. Paving your path really requires 2 key areas, and that is figuring out what your major is going to be, and that's your major, your minor, your concentration, right? And the second area is what school would you be interested in. And this is going to be very, very important to kind of outline before you start applying, because once you figure out the type of school you want, size, and we've talked about this again in terms of figuring out what school would be the ideal school for you. But what you want to do is you want to outline the school criteria in terms of size, location, cost, reputation, on and on. And you also want to figure out what you're going to study, because that's going to help you figure out the requirements, which is going to be the third part of the process. Okay, now that you have built your brand, now that you have paved the path, your next step is gathering your tools. And that really consists of your CV. That consists of figuring out who your letters of recommendations and your recommenders are going to be, and also scheduling and getting ready to take your standardized test if applicable. So in terms of CV, you want to make sure you're writing everything down in a certain order. We also have a video on this in terms of writing the right academic CV, right? But you have, your professional experiences, academic experiences, honors, scholarships. You've got your volunteer experiences, your skills, your interests. You want to make all of that really stand out, right? You also then want to figure out who your recommender is going to be. And that's a very, very important part of the whole equation in terms of making sure you get a subjective perspective about who you are that really substantiates and serves to only reinforce your application. So make sure you find the right recommenders and get in touch with them in advance so that they don't drop the ball before they need to submit. And then again, finally, figure out the standardized test. Plan it out. Give yourself plenty of time to study effectively for them and do well. Now that you've built your brand, you've paved your path, right? Now that you've gathered your tools, here's the final part of the roadmap, and that is to assemble your team. When you go through the process, it can be very, very stressful. So you want to make sure you have friends who are ready to support you, you've got mentors that you've enlisted, and you have a guide to walk you through the process. That's really where admissions consultants, such as Right Track Admissions, come in. Because you want somebody to help you with time management, right? With stress reduction, with knowing exactly how to be more efficient and precise with your application to really nail it. Okay, so here's your call to action. The first part, the keystone to the roadmap, is really building your brand. So spend and invest a lot of time into this process, figuring out those core values that make you tick, that form the core identity, right? And then through that, you'll be able to build your brand, and through building your brand, you'll build your story. Once you've figured all that out, the rest is going to be a smooth roadmap, a smooth path in terms of figuring out your tools, figuring out the path in terms of what you want to study, where you want to study, and getting your team assembled. Well, I hope you found this useful and will get you on the right track to success. If you have any questions for us, please post them below. We'll do our best to get back to you with further resources. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, subscribe by hitting the big red button below. And as always, please stay sane, stay safe, and stay connected.